Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a heavy lower back and thought, "Why does my body already feel old?" Have you noticed that no matter how long you sleep, your hips still feel tight, your posture feels weak, and your energy never fully returns? And what if one forgotten movement, discovered thousands of years ago, could slowly release the pressure your body has been carrying every single day? Most people think back pain comes from age, hard work, or a bad mattress. But many scientists and body experts now believe something deeper is happening. Long hours of sitting, driving, scrolling on phones, and living under stress slowly tighten one hidden muscle deep inside the hips called the psoas. This muscle quietly pulls on the lower spine night after night, creating pressure, stiffness, poor sleep, and emotional exhaustion. Ancient yoga teachers noticed this connection long before modern medicine even named the muscle. They believed tight hips could trap fear, stress, and fatigue inside the body itself. In this video, you will discover the real reason so many young people already feel physically drained, how the body stores tension without us noticing, and why one gentle nightly hip release may help the spine relax naturally again. Stay until the end. Daniel was only 25, but every morning his body felt heavy when he stepped out of bed. His lower back felt tight, his hips felt locked, and even simple things like bending down to tie his shoes felt harder than before. At first, he blamed his chair, then his mattress, then his long work hours. But deep inside, he quietly started fearing something many young people fear today. Why does my body already feel old? What made it worse was that the pain slowly changed his personality. He became more tired, more impatient, and emotionally distant. Small problems felt bigger. He stopped going on long walks. He stopped exercising. Some nights he stayed awake scrolling on his phone because sleep never felt deep anymore. What Daniel did not understand was that his body had been adapting to stress for years. 10 hours sitting at work, long drives, poor posture, gaming late at night, and constant pressure slowly tightened a deep muscle inside the hips called the psoas. This muscle connects the spine to the legs, and when it stays short for too long, it quietly pulls the lower back forward night after night. The spine compresses during sleep, the hips lose movement, and the nervous system...
One night, after another long day of back stiffness and mental exhaustion, Daniel came across an old story about ancient yoga teachers who believed the hips were deeply connected to fear, stress, sleep, and emotional balance. These ancient people did not have scans, machines, or modern medical words, yet they spent thousands of years watching how the human body moved. They noticed that people who sat less, breathed deeply, and kept their hips open often moved with more energy and slept more peacefully. But modern life had become very different. Most people now spend over 8 hours sitting every day. The body stays folded forward while driving, working, eating, and scrolling on phones. Slowly, the hips become trapped in a tight defensive position, and the lower back begins carrying pressure it was never meant to hold all night. Then Daniel discovered a simple movement called Ananda Balasana. Lying on his bed, he pulled his knees gently toward his chest, held the outside of his feet, and slowly rocked from side to side. At first, it felt almost too simple to matter. But after 1 minute, something surprising happened. His breathing slowed naturally, his chest. Daniel did not wake up one morning completely healed. The change happened slowly, quietly, almost like his body was remembering something it had forgotten years ago. On the first night, After doing the gentle hip release for only 2 minutes before sleep, he noticed his breathing felt deeper. His lower back still felt tight, but not as sharp as before. By the third night, something even more surprising happened. He slept longer without waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning. For years, his spine had been sending stress signals through the night because the tight psoas muscle kept pulling on his lower back. But now, the pressure was slowly decreasing. His nervous system was finally getting a chance to rest deeply again. By the 7th night, Daniel noticed his posture changing without even trying. Walking felt lighter. Standing in line no longer hurt his lower back. Even sitting at work felt different because his hips were not constantly pulling his spine forward anymore. Research shows that when hip tension decreases, the pelvis begins returning to a more natural position, reducing pressure on the lower spine and improving movement through the entire body. But as the weeks passed, Daniel slowly understood something most people never realize. The human body is always listening. It responds to stress, posture, breathing, sleep, movement, and even emotions every single day. Years of sitting had taught his body to stay tight, guarded, and tired. But now, the same body was learning how to relax again through one small nightly habit. Scientists now know that muscles, posture, breathing patterns, and even stress responses can change over time, depending on the signals the body receives again and again. This means the body is not frozen in one condition forever. It adapts constantly. When people sleep poorly, sit too long, and live under pressure, the body slowly becomes tense and protective. But when the body feels safe, supported, and relaxed, healing systems begin turning back on. Daniel also started noticing how many people around him were carrying invisible tension. Friends complained about tight necks, jaw pain, poor sleep, low energy, headaches, and constant stress, even though in the end, Daniel discovered that his body was never working against him. The pain, stiffness, poor sleep, and heavy feeling in his lower back were not signs that his life was slowly falling apart. They were signals, quiet signals asking for movement, rest, balance, and release. For years, he believed healing had to be difficult. He thought recovery meant harder workouts, expensive treatments, or pushing through pain every single day. But the real change began with something simple: slowing down for 2 peaceful minutes before sleep and allowing his body to relax again. What changed his life was not only the release in his hips or the reduced pressure in his spine. It was the feeling of safety returning to his body. His sleep became deeper. His breathing became calmer. His posture became lighter. Even his mind became quieter. And maybe that is the most important lesson of all. Many people are not truly broken. They are simply carrying years of stress, pressure, sitting, tension, and emotional weight without ever giving the body a chance to let go. Tonight, before you sleep, take one slow breath. Relax your hips. Relax your back.